Hey guys, today's Friday, May the 19th of 2023, and I wanted to go over the dollar. There's a lot of stuff cooking with the dollar, so without any further delay, let's get into it. So you guys know my motto. I like to start off with the cycles and see what's going on. And we're going to start off with the weekly cycles, which is the weekly chart, and I'm using data all the way from like 2000-ish, June, all the way to current prices. And the most important cycle here using spectrum analysis is the 179. And as you can see in the past, how this cycle has worked, it picks up peaks here, picks a bottom here, kind of peak. It's a little off. It came in early. This is, what I call head fake. And then it peaked the bottom here. Came in a little early here. Peak came in here somewhere around January the 9th. And now this cycle is down. So remember, the weekly cycle is down. So overall, the trend or the cycle is going to be down. So any little pops is going to be head fakes. Pressure is going to be still on the dollar. That means that maybe gold in the future is going to continue going up until October of 2024. And this is going to change, mind you. This is not static. This is dynamic. So this is going to shift. So but I'm just giving you the date right now. As of October 2024, it's going to, as of right now, that's the cycle low. But that's going to shift by next year. Just wanted to give you what's going on there. We're going to go into the daily cycle and see what we have cooking there. Okay, so here we have the daily chart of the dollar, and I'm going back all the way to like around 2015 of September. This is the data that I'm using. And as of right now, the dominant cycle here is the 319. You can see if I kind of shrink this a little bit, you see some peaks. Cycle low here, we kind of went up here, wasn't really working, kind of went sideways, hit a peak here and then pulled back, and then the low was a little later, and it was actually a double low, and it was kind of inverted here, and then it started rallying, locked in right here to swing high, and now cycle low, which is somewhere around April the 21st. And if you can see, we're kind of finding a bottom, fail new low, what I call FNL. If I could type this with an arrow, fail new low. If it would have cracked here, probably would have tested this low right here of somewhere around 92. I have a target of 98, which is somewhere around here. Looks like this is going to be a wave 4 and maybe push lower into a wave 5 and then go up. But so far, what's important here, that the daily cycle is pointing up. So that is positive in regards to the daily cycle. Although the weekly cycle goes all the way down to October of next year, it's not going to just crash. I know the bricks and all that, everybody wants to compete with the dollar. But so far, it's going to oscillate back and forth. Remember, life, you get ups, you get down days, you get Mondays, blues, Fridays, you're excited, Thursday, all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with the market. It oscillates. So now we're going up. How far we're going to go up, we'll see. I'm going to show you some, seasonality cycles and everything. So you kind of, guesstimate what, probably could be, the turning point using Elliott wave and seasonalities and cycle. But so far, the daily's up, weekly's down. That's the most important thing you want to know. And we're going to go through our thesis and see what else we could expect. What probably, using probability, where this dollars is going to go. But so far, price is king, and it looks like it wants to go higher. Okay, this is a seasonality chart. I like to use it. The dollar is a percent of months in which the US dollar closed higher than it opened from 2019 to 2023. And you can see that May, kind of weak, April, May, June, July, flat, August, and September get a nice bump using a 5-year average. Let's go and take that to 10. You can see that May is a little stronger, above the 50%, and then June and July gets weak, and somewhere around August and September gets a nice little bump from there, and then it kind of stays kind of strong, and then it dips in December. Let's use our 15 just to see. May, a little stronger, above the... this is that rally maybe we're getting right now. And then June and July gets weak. So maybe that's where we're going to get our $98. Nice little pullback. We know that the weekly cycles are down, but the daily are up. So we'll see how that's going to play out. They're not all lining up together. And then August, a nice little strong strength. And then it kind of dwindles. And then November, is pretty strong. And then the max, which is the 20-year, you can see that May is pretty strong. June and July a little weaker than 50%. And then kind of August, September kind of flat, a little stronger. Below August and September, probably the strongest right now. So that's just pretty much showing in regards to seasonality. Let's look at our other clip and see whatever clues we could get from there. Okay, this is another seasonality chart I like to use, and let's use, as you can see right now, this is where the dollar is right now. And we put our 5-year. 5-year gets kind of toppy by May 12 all the way to like May 17th, and it kind of goes sideways, and then it kind of grinds lower. Using the 5-year average, using the 10-year average, it gets a little toppy May 25th, and then a little fail new high maybe on May 30th, and then it kind of dwindles lower. We had our 15-year average. You can see that it pulls back, and somewhere around May the 24th all the way to May 30th, pretty much the last week, it kind of just gets very toppy, and then it kind of pulls back in. So we are very close. We're using Elliott wave for maybe a wave 4. It's going to probably trap some bulls and then maybe push lower to sideways. We'll see. But, just keep in mind that the daily cycle is up. The weekly cycle is down. Nothing is always perfect in this world. There's things that are just conflicting. You just have to just watch price and see what makes the sense in your trading strategy and see what makes sense. But so far, it's not going to be an easy a roadmap from here because there's a lot of things that are going against each other. What I suggest is watch price. One thing is that when we look at our clips that I have in the future for you to check out, which is geometry, there's a lot of positive things there for the dollar. So it's like a pros and cons. You just got to, decide where you think is going to navigate. But I'm showing you all the data points of all the probabilities of where this thing is going to go. And all the possible turning points. We don't know exactly, but we're just trying to, figure it out as we go. Let's go to the next clip and see what we could get out of there. We could dissect that for the dollar. Okay, guys, so this is our Elliott wave chart. As you can see, we have a wave 5 up here. We're back into the MOBO bands. We're above all the moving averages, the 20, 50, 100, 200 on the monthly. We go into the weekly. You can see we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5, and then we're wave 3. We're finding support at the 100, and we just kissed one of the wave 4 projection line, which is a 103.59. But if the dollar is going to grind higher, there's one at 105.39, and you got the 50 SMA on the weekly up there. So all these targets are possible. Now, if it's going to stall here, then this is very possible for wave 4 and then continue going down. But I can kind of see it maybe pushing a little higher. And maybe at least kiss the 50 on the weekly SMA. What else I have? Stokes are positive here too, so that's a plus. Let's go to the daily. The daily is going to be very congested, so I'm going to take my time here. So we have a wave 3, a wave 4. That was that March 8th high, and then a wave 5 all the way to April 14th. You got 1, 2. We're getting on a 3. So if this is a 3, if there's a pullback, projection wave 4 would be 102.61 all the way to the 102.29, which lines up with the 50. And if it wants to go deeper, the 20 here, but it's above the mobile band, so that's good. Stokes are positive. And if the wave 3 is higher on the daily chart, 104.77 is possible, even all the way to maybe even kiss and test this 200 and this swing pivot high of 105.88. But it still wants to push higher. There's a projection wave 3 up here, which is 107.12. That's extreme, but you never know with the dollar, with King Dollar. Let's look at some fibs. From this high to this low, we're about to kiss the 103.93, the 61.8. So that looks good. Regards to the Gann square, there's a key level right here of 105.77, lines up with this pivot high. So you want to keep an eye on that. And this is more involved here. As you can see, we're extended over the linear regression channel, so it's very extended. I took a pivot from this low and added some Gann numbers, and this is a 360 degree right here. And with the ellipse, very possible target to get up there, at least to the 104.38. I want you to see something in regards to the ellipse technique. Every time you get to the end of the ellipse technique, what it indicates is that's going to be a probability, that's going to be high volatility. What direction is going to go, we don't know. But the probability of high volatility increases. As you can see right here, look at that candle lined up with the ellipse right here. Meaning, we're going to look into the future. Keep an eye on May the 24th. I think that's a Wednesday. I don't know if there's something going on with FOMC or some kind of data. But if we chuck along higher and then kind of stall here or just continue going higher, watch out for the 24th, because that's when volatility is going to increase even for more upside or maybe to the downside. So just want to give you a little tip on that. But other than that, everything is looking good for higher prices on the dollar. You're above all the moving averages. You got the 200, you got the swing pivot high, and I got some targets from the swing pivot high all the way from 106.64 all the way to 107.16. And there's a date you want to keep an eye on, is May the 29th. Okay, so this is our geometry chart that I wanted to show you. This is a scale chart using the dollar, 45 degree. Using the Gann fans, you can see that so far this Gann fan has been working really good. Look how it's finding support on this Gann fan, which is a 1x4. This is a 1x3, so that could be a possible target if it pushes higher than 105.49-ish. Next thing is this Gann fan from up here. Dollar is very bullish. This is the 45 degree angle, and we failed here, and now we are across it. So it is very bullish. Next resistance will be around 108.17. I mean, if it, it's going to be lowering, I need to expand this chart, but it's bullish. It's over the 45 degree. Very bullish. Can't deny that. I went ahead and put a pivot right here just to see if this was going to be one of the ones that will like vibrate better with the dollar. And you can see that's not. It was kind of finding support here, kind of in the air. Not really nothing there. And it broke through this angle right here, which is the 1x3. But when you put the 1x4 pivot over here at a scale chart, you can see that this one is working really well. Next thing I wanted to show you is the Gann square. We found support here at this 101.97, broke through this angle. Resistance will be the 105.23. And I went ahead, and I think this is another one. I'm not too sure. The timing point, what I call vectors, May 21st, and obviously the same thing, 105.34. Here's a pitchfork from this swing pivots here. This is going to be a target over here to see if we could kind of cross above it and kind of, hang out here. And this is going to be the midpoint. Let's see how that's going to play out. And in regards to Fibonacci, we were hovering around the 50%. The next target is at 2% Fibonacci level, 105.01. That's very possible to get up there. And another thing, using the ellipse technique, one of the things I learned from MSJ is that using the major scale, we're entering possible, either volatility, swing high. It could be a lot of factors, or, nothing may pan out. But this is dated for the 21st. Using the major scale. So let's see if we could, let's see what happens in the next couple of days if this stalls right here and then goes back down, or gets some more Momo and pushes even stronger. I think this is going to be my last clip for the dollar. As you can see, this is a market profile. We got a value area low of 101.02. We broke through the point of control, which was 102.11. And this is a value area high. This is very realistic for a target, 104.05. Possible a wave 4 up here and then go down to do our wave 5. But keep in mind, those daily cycles are still up while the weekly cycles are down. Let's go to our other clip here. This is what I call my simple glance chart. As you can see, we got a hockey stick on the monthly, so it's looking good. Big time frame, you're above the cloud. The linear regressions are pointing up. You're holding point of, value area high, which is that 102.40. Here's the 50% on the Kumo cloud, 102.03. So we've been chopping around there. You're kind of chopping around the 20 on the monthly. Got a PPS buy signal on the weekly. MACD is positive. Hikanashi candles trend is white. Mobile bands are positive. There's going to be some resistance here at 104.68. That's the 50% on the Kumo cloud. And once you get in there, you're going to get very, very, very volatile. And on top of that, you're going to deal with the 50 on the weekly SMA. On the shorter time frame, which is the daily, you can see that you're very overextended. It kind of reminds me of natural gas. And the linear regressions are pointing up, which is good. You kind of peeked your head up above the cloud, but then duck your head right back in. So this is kind of, a possibility where maybe natural gas would do this too. The only thing is that it's a little more over here. But either way, this is where you want to lock in profit somewhere around here. Unless it's holding the 103. But if it pulls back, gives you another opportunity to dip your toes in. But then it gets kind of tricky because then it's like, okay, so this is wave 4. We're going to go wave 5 down. And, I got a target of 98 down there. But if it's going to continue trending higher, then all these Elliott wave counts are going to have to readjust. But on top of that, the seasonality and, the weekly cycles are down and the daily's up to, I can't remember what the month was, but if you could look at the clip, you'll notice. But there's a lot of things, that you kind of have to juggle and kind of figure out. The good thing is that if it could stay above here, 103.29, that's good. We know that the 45 degrees scale chart price action is above it, so that's very bullish. So there's a lot of pros and cons to the dollar. Overall, is above most of the moving averages here. The 200s all the way up here. So we just got to see if this is a wave 4, it's going to push lower. If it's going to, start trending higher following the weekly, the daily cycle, then it's probably going to ignore a lot of the seasonality cycles. So those are my thoughts for the dollar. Just want to give you a little quick heads up. I'm going to take a break. Enjoy my Friday. Have a good day. Good trading. And I'll give you some updates Saturday and some of the other markets that I have my eyes on. And then we'll take it from there. If you like this video, let me know your thoughts, your comments on the dollar. What do you think? We're going to go higher? We're going to go sideways? Or the bricks are just going to slam us down? Let me know your thoughts. And I'll keep you posted on the dollar using cycle analysis.